If you've been on my page for a while, you know that I produce these videos every so often that say, please don't sign up for a color analysis in XYZ scenario, and every video says, please don't sign up if you aren't open to receive a result you weren't expecting, or a result that matches what is in your closet or what you were told years ago or over time. I'm quite casual in this video. I'm just recording this as I was inspired to produce this message once again. Most to all people who receive color analysis results from me are surprised, shocked, and or denial. And that's just, for some reason, the nature of the game. It's hard to see ourselves accurately, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. And there's one scenario that perhaps I haven't officially addressed, I've sort of roundabout addressed, but I will say that training programs and color analysis systems have advanced than what they were decades ago. And so I'm meeting a lot of people who were perhaps analyzed years ago in the 4-season system and given a home season that doesn't align to their home season now. So let me just spell out a scenario. So let's say years ago you were told you were a summer and you sign up for a color analysis now because you're trying to figure out what sort of summer you are. Are you a muted summer, light summer, cool summer, or a true summer? And perhaps now you might receive a result, let's say, of warm spring, which is a completely different palette. It's so hard for me to sort of, dissect what happened decades ago in your color analysis, or what the training and experience was of the person who did the color analysis originally. But I will say that color analysis training and systems have advanced, and you may get a different result. And so again, I'm going to produce this video saying, if you aren't open to receive a result that doesn't even match the home season you were told decades ago, please don't sign up for my color analysis service. And probably a color analysis service isn't a fit for you. I will just say, wear what you love. I will always say wear what you love. But color analysis, there's specific checks done and specific colors tested for each step. And that's what we're looking at you against, with no bias, and we're looking at your biology over time and what have you. Many people, let's say years ago, did their training through reading a book, perhaps. And, color analysis, like any sort of training program, whether it be hairstyling, if you're becoming a doctor and what have you, color analysis is no different. Color analysis is truly learned through experience. It's so hard to say what your scenario was decades ago if you're in this scenario, but it is quite possible that if you were assessed as a home season years ago, you might receive a different home season in current times. And ultimately, color analysis is about finding colors that add to your sparkle. And totally get there might be emotion involved if your closet is filled with colors in the palette you were told decades ago, or perhaps you've grown attached to the palette. Color's energy, and I find people develop attachments to colors. All this to say, once again, if you aren't open to receiving a result which you were told years ago, or perhaps you thought you were, or perhaps what your closet is filled with, then perhaps my color analysis service, or color analysis in general, isn't a fit for you. I would much prefer you not sign up for their service. I experienced a situation a couple weeks ago, for instance, where somebody received a result which was different from their home season that they received decades ago. And they ended their email to me saying that they were never going to recommend my business and what have you. And they attached a couple pictures of them in the palette that I gave them and the palette that they had been told previously. And the pictures basically confirmed the palette I gave them. And so I don't know why people would write that it's weird for me to receive an email like that, frankly. Color analysis is supposed to be fun and sparkly, and if you receive colors that you perhaps emotionally aren't drawn to, wear what you love. But ultimately, I sometimes relate it to this analogy that, you know, in my younger years, I used to perhaps go out with lovers, like guys in my scenario, where perhaps they weren't the best for me, but I really, really liked them. I had trouble letting go, and perhaps, you know, it's about just letting go of things that don't serve you. Previous video, I talked about an in-person day at Studio Fontana, and the second person of the day, who had previously been told decades ago that she was a winter, received a true autumn result. And I always advise people who perhaps have an attachment to a previous analysis that is developed over decades, that perhaps don't look at the color, look at what's happening to your skin when the color comparisons are done. And usually when they ignore the color that's on them, they can really see the vibrancy added to their face with the correct colors. And in this particular case, the true winter actually is a true autumn. So hopefully somehow this video helps you. All this to say, please don't sign up if you aren't open to receive a palette that you thought that you weren't. Thank you for listening.